Now this is a heck of a view. At least I think so. Pretty nice. We have the river, we have the sunrise, we have the snow. Oh, what more do you need? Welcome to the river once more. A quick visual descriptor. I have long brown hair, a black coat and hood, glasses, blue overcoat, coffee mug in hand. The rising sun is behind me. Let me adjust so hopefully you can see some more of that. Rising sun's right behind me. Of course, we have the snow, we have the river. Can move that aside so there's not so much glare. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day. The temperatures are in the teens. Oh, that's okay. It's just part of the joys of living in the land of the ice and snow. I hope you have your coffee, tea, whatever it may be, whatever makes your day marvelous. I want you to have the best day possible, and I hope that your day gets going in a way that makes it all wonderful for you. Let's sit here. That's good. That's really good. As always, I'm so happy to have you here with me. I enjoy the fact that last week I was able to show you, what looked almost like spring, and here we are back to the winter. It comes and goes so quickly. It's almost unpredictable. Almost. My prediction was that we would have snow again, but at the same time, I was like, oh my goodness, why is the snow already gone? It happens. Things change. Things shift. Oh. I do love that the sunrise is so absolutely wonderful. Truly is wonderful. Now, depending on where you're joining me from, maybe it's spring where you are, maybe it's winter. It could be any number of seasons. I don't know so well the map of the world and how the seasons fall, depending on where you are. What I do know, though, is many of you who are watching are creators in one way or another. Maybe you've never looked at yourself as being a creator. Chances are more of you are creators than are not. We all have an art, a craft, some intrinsic part of us, some force which drives us to create. It's just how that force presents itself in our lives that differs from person to person. But if it's your first time here, myself, I'm a award-winning filmmaker. I'm an artist. I'm an author. I'm a poet. And now and again, a photographer. I have many arts and many creative forces inside me, which express themselves in a multitude of ways. And maybe you're the same. Maybe you have many creative outlets. Maybe you have many individual drives to create, to make, to present yourself. And this is a wonderful thing. Now, perhaps you very well also could be one of those people who has a singular, very strong drive, a creative force that must be expressed. I know that there are many people out there who have almost a singular drive. Just like there's many people out there who have many drives. We're all different in so many different ways. It's very difficult to put a pin in a single type of creator and say, that's what a creator is. That's one of the beautiful things about it. Creativity is unbounded. It can go in many ways, but there's something that can come into our lives which can truly dampen our creativity. That's distraction. Now, sometimes distractions come in the disguise of creativity, and I'll explain just briefly. As a as a poet, as a writer, as an author, I oftentimes am writing many different things at once. I'll stop and late at night I'll suddenly get inspired to write a poem. I'll have multiple books being worked on at one time. I'll have multiple stories that I'm building and researching, working up. Sometimes I'll be writing ideas or even a outline for my next film, and sometimes I'll be working on my next novel or novella. This is good and bad. As I'm to understand, based on conversations and seeing what other writers and authors say online, many authors have multiple projects going at once. But there's a point where this can tip over, and then these other projects can truly just become distractions. If you have many projects you're working on, and suddenly you get an idea for another big project, and that project drags you away from everything that you've already been working on, there's a chance this could become a distraction to your overall goals. And that is truly where you can figure out if it's a distraction or if it's just an additional expression. If something is keeping you from your goals, or if something is taking you away from what you already spent so much time and energy on, it might be a bit of self sabotage, a bit of self distraction, getting you off track. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually think it's marvelous when we have multiple projects and we have multiple goals. We only have so much time in life, not to be a grim, but since there's only so much time in life, we really do need to pursue what we want, pursue what we wish to have. But we can't let some of those pursuits overpower our capacity to finish what we've started. I submit to you a very basic proposition. To increase our creativity, we have to moderate, not eliminate, our distractions. If you have some new idea, if you have some sudden new tickle or desire, well, it's best not to ignore it. But it's also best not to let it overwhelm or overtake what you're currently doing. As a painter, I can happily sit down and start a painting and keep going until it's finished before I move on to the next painting. This is an area where my creativity can excel because I don't get hung up on multiple projects at once. As a filmmaker, I'm often working on only a single film at a time. Though I may be coming up with ideas for others, I will put all of my primary energy into the main film that I'm working on. But as an author, I quickly get distracted because I have so many creative ideas. When that happens, it's good to moderate. Make a list of those other ideas, write them down, get them started, but then return to what you were doing before. Allow the distraction to become a fuel for your overall goal, not an overtaking of your goals. There's, of course, lots of other things that can distract us in life. Maybe we'll get distracted and have one of those days where you just like to lay in bed or sit on the couch and watch watch your favorite streaming service all day. We all have those days. I'd say that as long as that doesn't become something that occurs every day, you're all right. But that also can be a distraction. So keep in mind, if you're losing many, many hours watching a streaming service, you're giving into a distraction. Moderate that. Make sure that you're either working while you're doing it or that you're balancing the time between your projects and your downtime. Life requires balance, but distractions can truly become a fuel. A couple hours of watching movies or TV shows or various live streams can give you new ideas or new perspectives for what you're working on. Getting lost in that rabbit hole, though, is really just going to detract from you being able to complete, finish, and move on with your project. If you like to listen to music, music itself is not necessarily a distraction. You can use that as a background while you work. You can listen to music while you're writing or painting or making your posts for the next day. You can listen to music while you build your graphics. Maybe you're doing that on something like Canva or whatnot. Just listen to music. It's fine. It's not going to interrupt. As long as you don't allow the music to become more important than the work you're getting done. And this is really the totality of my message for you. Our distractions, whether they're distractions of our own creativity, pulling us in different directions, or the distractions of getting too comfortable. And you can get too comfortable in your life and not completing what you want to do. All of these have to be kept in check. Make sure you're paying attention to the amount of time you spend with your distractions. But I would also say don't eliminate them. Do not eliminate your distractions. Distraction creep is when the amount of time spent with entertainment or with starting new things begins to outweigh completing, finishing that book, finishing that video, finishing that poem, completing your painting, writing and producing your film, getting your blog going, building your social media channel. And of course, sometimes one of those things might become a distraction too. Just keep an eye. Is it helping you get to your goal, or is it pushing your goals further out? No. Like to say, you all deserve an extra cuppa, so go get one, coffee, tea, whatever it may be. You deserve a cuppa, so go get one. It's beautiful back here. Before I get going today, though, I'd like to talk to you for a moment about my new story with Kindle Vella. And depending on where you're joining me, there's going to be a link somewhere nearby where you can check it out. On Kindle Vella, I have released 30 Days in the Apocalypse with Dr. Sciencio Magnifico. Now, Kindle Vella comes out in episodes. Currently, there are 4 episodes for Dr. Sciencio Magnifico, and more episodes are coming. But the great thing about Kindle Vella is the first 3 episodes are free, so you can start the story, see if you enjoy it, and if you do, using the in-app token, you can go ahead and purchase additional episodes as they come out. Kindle Vella is a newer platform from Amazon. They've been out for Well, they just started last year, um, but there's already so many authors on there, releasing so many different kinds of stories. I myself currently have two different stories going there, with episodes still early. But if you start now, you'll be able to keep up with all the fun as it comes out, and I highly recommend that you check out Kindle Vella. Now, 30 Days in the Apocalypse with Dr. Sciencio Magnifico is a sci-fi post-apocalypse dystopian comedy of sorts, focusing on the idea of internet celebrities existing in that kind of clout chase and fame bubble while also living in an apocalypse. It's quite fun, has some moments of absurdity, and I highly recommend it. And should you read, please make sure to give a thumbs up to the stories and also leave a review after you've completed what's there. I would appreciate it so much. However, I am going to say good day. It's been absolutely wonderful. Take care, be excellent, and I'll see you all again really soon. Get yourself an extra cuppa, you deserve one. Mm, that's some good coffee. Okay. Be excellent, everyone. I'll see you all again really soon.